Welcome to another one of my PBR battles. This time I've got another opponent who has water elements on their team, so as usual if I see somebody like that then I'll use Ludicolo and Toxicroak. I was trying out something new. I was using Regigigas, so I went and threw him in, and then since he had Jolteon on his team I went ahead and used Electivire instead of Gyarados. This was actually a pretty fun game this time around. I really learned a lot about Rain Dance teams. My team has elements of a Rain Dance team, but I never really set it up to be one. It just turned out that way. Anyways, this is a pretty good match, so I hope you enjoy watching this one. Right away, both of us led off with Ludicolo, and I had a Toxicroak, he had Crobat. My initial idea was to use Fake Out on his Crobat, and then let his Ludicolo set up a Rain Dance. Unfortunately, I didn't know that Crobat had inner focus, so that plan failed, so I learned something new from that. Yeah. So I used Fake Out, wasted a turn doing that. I could have used Fake Out on his Ludicolo instead. And his Crobat went ahead and set up the Rain Dance for the game. So that gave my Ludicolo and his Ludicolo a boost. I went ahead and used Surf. That way I could hit both of his teammates. Of course it doesn't hit Toxicroak thanks to Dry Skin. And there's barely any damage on his Ludicolo. His Ludicolo this game is actually set up to be a staller, so you'll see how that plays out. But he set up Leech Seed there, my Toxicroak. I went and kept Toxicroak in this. I don't know. May have been a bad idea, may have not, but I figured I'd try to get a Sucker Punch off on Crobat. I didn't know if he could try to switch it out or not and go for something else, because it has a high enough speed to where it'd be able to get something off in another turn, but I risked it anyways, went for Sucker Punch. Now I went for a Grass Knot on his Ludicolo, trying to get damage down some. His Crobat went ahead and used Protect. It stuck around in there, so my plan for using Sucker Punch failed. And used Grass Knot there on his Ludicolo. And his Ludicolo used Substitute, another form of trying to stall out. So mine's more of an offensive base type, his is more of a stall type. As you see, gaining life from Leech Seed. Rain Dish as well is what his Ludicolo has. And because of the substitute problem, I was trying to get rid of it, so I had no choice and went ahead and used Cross Chop on his substitute and then attacked with Grass Knot. Unfortunately for me, he put out another move and used Protect, so that really screwed over my plans after he does that. Surprisingly, his Crobat hadn't attacked. He could have attacked last turn, but he protected to scout out, I guess, what I was going to do, and he saw I was going to use Sucker Punch, so he drew it back, and then he called out Azumaril. There's his Ludicolo using Protect. So two of my guys wasted a turn trying to attack his protected Ludicolo. So at this point I'm getting really frustrated because I haven't been able to do much of anything. And massive health gaining going on there. Alright, this time around I figured I was going to switch out. Went with Regigigas because he has Thunder and Rain Dance is out, so that would be useful against a water-based team. I went and used Surf because I was trying to get rid of his substitute, and at the same time damages Azumaril. But the damage I thought would be wasn't enough to get rid of his substitute, so it stayed up. I really should have probably just used Grass Knot just to get rid of it altogether. But at the same time, I wanted to deal some damage to his Azumaril if I did get rid of his substitute. But oh well, you never know what's going to happen. It was worth a try. See, substitute stuck around. I didn't care that I was using Surf on Regigigas because it's special defense based, so I didn't really figure it was going to do all that much of a damage deal to him. His Azumaril used Substitute, so yeah, his team really stalls out and gets behind stuff. Highly annoying having two substitutes sitting right there in front of you. So, since I noticed now that his Ludicolo is stalling out finally, I went ahead and decided, okay, time to go for something else. So I started double ganging on the other thing. So I went and used Thunder on the Azumaril and Grass Knot on it. That way I get rid of the substitute with one and then finish it off with the other. La 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 la, Ludicolo dancing in the rain. I always think of that Pokemon Colosseum music. And his Azumaril was tightening its focus. He was going to use Focus Punch, but didn't get the chance to do it, thankfully. That gets rid of his substitute, and here comes the main attack. Boom! Gotta love being able to get Thunder off freely. And she sends out Jolteon. I thought Jolteon was going to use Substitute on this one. I mean, everybody else had been using Substitute, and I usually see Jolteons use Substitute. So I went ahead and used Stomp on Jolteon, and then I was going to use Surf. That way I could damage not only Ludicolo, but Jolteon. And I was hoping maybe that after hitting twice with Surf on the Ludicolo Substitute, that would also break, but still didn't break. I could not believe that. It took so much damage and it still stayed up. But Jolteon instead used Thunder on my Ludicolo instead of using Substitute like I thought it was going to do. Managed to weaken it down to the red health, and still hitting my not my Ludicolo, my Regigigas with Surf. And then it seeds my Regigigas now, gain back more health. And then I use Stomp on Jolteon. So now all that's going to be left for his side, or her side, is going to be a Crobat, which is already damaged anyways. And I've still got a full team to go. But that Ludicolo is up in substitute mode with Leech Seed going off and is in the rain. So it's also getting HP. And right away I figured that Crobat was going to try to pull something on Ludicolo, like maybe an Air Slash. So I went ahead and switched out for Electivire, predicting that was going to happen. And I just had Regigigas go ahead and attack. I knew I had this battle locked now, but it was, I don't know. It was pretty fun still at the end here. You'll see why in a minute. There goes Brave Bird instead of Air Slash like I thought it was. And it finished itself off. That was kind of funny. I didn't have to do any work on that. And then finally, their Ludicolo attacks and uses Surf, damaging both my guys. And then goes Thunder. Now, if only that substitute had been down, I would have gotten a critical hit. Nuts. Oh well. At this point, I was like, okay, if both my guys still go down by Surf, then I still have my Toxicroak to use Fake Out on it, on the Ludicolo, so it won't set up a substitute next turn. I went ahead and used Thunder with Regigigas, and then used Thunder Punch with Electivire. Electivire was still faster than Ludicolo in the rain, got off a Thunder Punch thankfully, so it damaged it down below half just a little bit and paralyzed it. Poor Regigigas, he's still not faster than Ludicolo when it's paralyzed, so he got his attack nulled. Both my guys go down by a Surf now, so all that's left for me is a Toxicroak and Ludicolo versus just his Ludicolo. Her Ludicolo, excuse me. There's old Toxicroak, and then Ludicolo. Of course, I'm going to Fake Out Ludicolo, so I won't get a substitute set up. I was actually expecting now for it to use Protect, but it didn't Protect. It went ahead and was going to try to attack, I suppose. And then Grass Knot. And a critical hit finishes it off. That was a really fun game. Some ups and downs in it, but altogether it was a fun water match. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. I sure enjoyed it. Have a good day.